welcome to another episode of Building Character here at the Comic Wow Studios in Timonium, Maryland. We are Game Trade Media.
We are.
I am your host, Rick. Today we're going to be doing a Starfinder ship build with our co-host,
Hi,
Kurt, as you guys would know him.
Yes.
Second in command.
Yes. Number two, as they say.
Number two, as they say.
Number two. Beat you to it. Beat you to it. So yeah, we made characters yesterday. If you guys didn't miss that, you can watch us. I'm sure if you go to the Game Trade Media website or Facebook page, you can watch yesterday's episode and stuff. But we made two characters. And we had a special guest yesterday, Tommy Zimbazo, and
he's funny.
He's funny, and he made an android, and I made a Vesk. And so yeah, if you're curious about Starfinder, you want to see more about the character generation and how it works, watch the previous episode. Today we're focusing on the Starship.
Yes.
And this isn't going to be the Starship for the characters that we made yesterday. We were told that we're not making any Starships, but this is just to kind of show how Starship creation is going to be, what it looks like, and the nuts and bolts of how it is, because it is a very, very cool system. I'm actually pretty excited.
The thing that I was kind of like thinking about is when you think of starships, you think of like all the different movies and shows that have had starships in them. What are some like iconic ships that you have enjoyed, or that you? Obviously, we're not going to take and make a Starship Enterprise.
I want the Falcon.
or we're not going to make a Andromeda or an Orville, as is coming out this fall. But what kind of ships do you think about when you think of? Oh, if I'm going to have a spaceship in a space campaign, this is what I would like to have.
Yeah, I mean, and what you probably have, you may have grand ideas of you want it to eventually be the Enterprise or something close there too. These are first level characters, and the way that starships work in this game is it kind of levels up with you. So instead of there being monetary, spending with this stuff, instead it's kind of like what's called build points, and you use that to kind of create the starships.
Okay.
So, and that levels up with the characters and stuff like that. So we're going to go through all that fun jazz kind of one step at a time. But yeah, just get an idea of kind of where we want to go. And we're going to put it out to you guys. We're going to read, how it works and what the options are. And then based on the situation and what you guys say, that's what we're going to put down.
Absolutely. I see that Keith says he's working on the good ship Lollipop.
It's a good one.
It's a good ship. It's a good ship to have. I said the Orville and the Andromeda and the Enterprise already, but what are, again, like when I think of the tiering, because it says that your ships are in tiers.
I mean, a first level ship for me looks kind of Firefly-ish. It's very kind of, it's a good ship. You can but just the bare bones. I think the technology is a little bit higher in this game than it is in the Firefly universe with shields and with energy weapons and stuff like that. But it's kind of the feel that I get, like I said yesterday, almost kind of a Mass Effect feel a little bit, stuff like that. But
I can see that.
But yeah,
very cool. I was thinking, like all things, we have to name our starships, and we're only doing one today. But I have a couple extra starship sheets here in case a cool name you guys throw out there pops up that I'll write down and might actually use it for other reasons later. So if you guys have any, what tier is a space trucker ship? Ooh.
Tier 0. No, a space trucker ship
would be tiny.
You need a cargo hold for your space trucker. So you need a big ship.
It says length 20 to 60 feet.
Where's that?
For size tiny is 20 to 60 feet. A 60 foot.
That's a fighter.
It's literally just an engine, a cargo, and you.
That's a starfighter. It's literally a fighter. If you want a freighter, that's going to be something much larger. That'd be a large vessel, stuff like that. A small freighter is your basic. Is probably what it would be. So, but that'd be small. So yeah, they can, not bad. That's up to 120 feet. So a little bit different.
Okay.
So that'd be a light freighter. I'd say between a regular base transport is a medium size, but we'll get to all that fun jazz.
Okay.
So let's kind of get into the building Starship. So if you have the PDF or if you have the special edition at home, you can follow along with us. If not, the actual book is released at Gen Con, right?
Yeah, next week.
So if you happen to be lucky enough to be at Gen Con, there you go. Or is it at stores also next week?
It's supposed to be at stores as well, starting Thursday.
Okay, so there you go. So it'll be in your local hobby shops starting on Thursday. Be sure to go there and check it out. But all right, so the first thing we have, so step number 1, where is it? Oh, I missed it. Step one is the concept. And that's kind of like where you started off.
Right.
For me, in this type of game, what I've seen is you kind of want almost a Firefly type of atmosphere where you want it to be a transport. Where the whole crew can kind of get involved, where they all kind of have your base of operations, stuff like that. And it kind of just giving an idea of a concept of what you want to do. Do you want it to be a bigger ship with a lot of space for cargo and light on the weapons, or do you want it to be a smaller vessel for just the crew but heavy on weapons and stuff like that? It all depends on the characters that you're thinking about playing with and stuff like that. In that circumstance, maybe be more mercenaries type of thing, going out, guns for hire, maybe even a bounty hunter, have a car, have a cell in there. So sky's the limit. I mean, it's tough to really have like a destroyer-sized vehicle at first level. Right. It's not unheard of.
Like when I think of a ship that would be a great starting ship for a campaign, would be something along the size of the Ghost from Star Wars.
Yep.
That would be like the right size. Everybody seems to have a berthing space. There's cargo hold. There's also the flight and weapon systems, engineering, and they have that other ship that kind of connects to it too, like the shuttle.
Well, I don't know if they're going to have that.
Well,
all that.
Yeah, that is a little bit more.
But yeah, but so we'll see what people are saying out there and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that would be probably fall under the light freighter, Rick. It says that it's got a minimum crew of 1, but a maximum crew of 6.
Okay.
Being a small size, that can be from 60 to 120 feet in length. So not a terrible size ship. So that's kind of, I think, what you're looking for in size-wise.
What are we looking at? Light freighter?
Yeah, light freighter.
Yeah. One of the questions here, Anthony goes, how are they representing space? Anthony, they're representing space as a two-dimensional space, as you see on the platform here, or on the star field. So your ships are just going to be like this. There's not going to be any... At this point, there might be a change where it'll be the ship is like here, and then you could maneuver around in all directions.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get to that.
I don't think they're going to get to that anytime soon, if at all.
Yeah.
But
just think of it as a two-dimensional, like a normal map in any RPG. Yeah. That's how it's going to be used, and that's just because that's really the only way you can do it.
Ease of play.
I've played games where they've tried to do it other ways, and it's just been a disaster. An argument, actually, is what it usually turns into.
Right.
My dice is I'm on 2, so I'm on level 2, so you have to go high. No, this is just garbage. This is just for ease of play. It's 2 dimensions. I know it's not how space is, but that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. All right, so the way it works is the first table here on 294 says you have to find out what the base tier is of your ship. Okay, so the way you find out the base tier of your ship is you find out what the character's average level is. Okay, and that's done by tallying up all the levels and then dividing by the number of players there are.
Right.
Okay, so if you have 4 first level players, maybe 4.
It's going to be level 1.
Level 1. So easy enough. So a level 1 ship on table 9.1 says that we have Starship build points at 55.
And that tier is 1.
Yep.
So I'll write everything down. You can use it as a reference.
Yep, I like it. So tier 1 gives us 55 points to work with.
Tommy says he's working with us on doing a ship.
Yes.
We have a couple good ship names here. We got the Rocinante, Francesco. Put that one. It's Rocinante, and then the Eccles or the Eccles, ECILS. ECILS is also a good ship name. We'll go ahead and let some others. If you have a cool ship name, drop it in here, and then we'll pick one from each of those.
All right, so we're going to go through the list real fast to tell you what the list is, and then we're going to go back to the beginning to go through them and actually do them. So step 1, concept, so we got that. Step 2, determine the build points. We did that. 55, tier 1. Next, we select a frame, the actual frame of the vessel, which is really cool because you are really building it from the ground up. You see, from the size and everything. After you select the frame, you're picking your power core. Your power core is very, very, very important in this game. That's not only just for your engines, but also for all your shields, all of your computers, all of your everything that has to do with power. It all comes off this core. And if at any time that's not the same number, that's bad.
Wow.
That's not cool. Then we select our thrusters. pretty basic how fast we're going. Any other systems, anything else that's cool, kind of upgrades, add-ons, stuff that's not necessary to have, but are really cool. And then add details. So that's it. It's 7 easy steps to create a starship, and then you guys are ready to go out in space and shoot things.
All right, so we got a couple other names dropped in there.
Can you read these ones?
The Nut Bucket, the Silent Knight, the Oriole.
Nice.
That's from Josh Githens.
Nice.
The Oriole. It says, and then the Drascosa. The Drascosa is a cool one. That sounds evil. That sounds like an evil ship.
Sounds like a Vesk ship here.
Yeah. The Oriole with a orange and white, orange, white, and black color scheme.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not a bad name.
Maybe.
It's kind of a homeschool. We are here in the Baltimore area.
Does that mean the ship's only good half the time?
Oh.
I'm joking.
Hey,
Come on now.
every once in a while,
everyone's a crick. Come on.
Every once in a while, you're going to get 3 home runs in an inning.
You never know. You never know. You never know.
I am going to write down the Oriole because I just think that
you do whatever you want. You do you.
The Oriole, and the people are going, what is the Oriole? I don't know.
It's none of your business. All right, so we have our ship name. Now we pick our frame. So, between a light freighter and a medium-sized vehicle like an Explorer or a Transport, something like that. So the difference in size is. So the light freighter, it's a small vessel, so up to 120 feet. It's got good maneuverability, so it's going to be a +1 with piloting. It's going to have 40 hit points. It's going to have a forward arc of 2 light, a port arc of 1 light, and a starboard arc of 1 light. So that's what it has as its potential mounts. That's where you can put guns, which I'm glad that they limit that. Right. So remember old previous science fiction games, it's like, do whatever you want, throw as many guns you want on that bad boy.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah,
and they're all linked together, so I have 35 guns and press 1 button, they all shoot at once. Like
White Lancer.
Like a little Death Star. It was great. But I'm glad it was limited.
You guys have some good names, by the way, just so you guys know. These names are awesome.
Yeah, we'll probably use them for other games, I think. Other if not for this one, we have it in the bucket of, we need a name for a ship. Right.
Oh, I like the Strega, the Crosa, the White Lancer, the Black Knight. There's a lot of cool names.
So expansion bay, the light freighter has 3. Expansion bays is kind of like the add-ons, like if you want to put a med bay in there, if you want to put on living quarters, all that stuff is probably.
But those cost points.
It does.
And as a matter of fact, the ship built the frame itself costs.
It costs points.
Points.
It does indeed. So the cool thing with the light freighter, a minimum crew 1, maximum crew of 6. So 1 person can crew it. That's nice, and it costs 10. 10 of the 55.
Yeah,
so
that's not bad.
So pretty cheap.
Yeah.
As far as we're going to go, the Explorer's the next size up. That's a medium size. So medium is between 120 and 300 feet, weighs about 40 to 150 tons. There's no AC modifier because it's so big and cumbersome. The other one does. It's got a +1 to its AC, so it's kind of cool.
Has a little bit more maneuverability.
Exactly. Yeah. The maneuverability, actually, no, it's still good for this. It's getting +1 to your piloting. It's got 55 hit points for 15 more. It's got 1 less forward mount, but this one adds a turret.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool.
Turrets are important.
Yes.
Actually.
So it's got 1 less forward mount because it's mainly used for fighters or smaller vessels because it's only have a pilot. But the crew in this one is the same size though. It's 1 minimum up to a maximum of 6, and it costs 2 more. And it's 4 expansion bays. So it's a little larger for the expansion bays. You have the turret on there also.
Yeah,
and
turret is really good.
And it's only 2 more points.
Because in the demo game where we played this, our ship had a turret, and it's really what saved us.
Really?
Yeah, because as you do a flyby, the turret can still do some rear
that
rear
360
attack.
is important.
Yeah.
So that's 12, and the next one up is the Transport, and that's the last one we're going to kind of go with because we want to keep it sort of cheap. So the Transport's still medium, same crew, 1 extra base of 5 bays. It's got another 15 hit points.
Right.
Okay, so we're up to 70 now. It loses the piloting thing now because it's a little bit bigger, a little more cumbersome. Yep.
Yeah.
So here's what it's got: forward arc, 1 heavy, 1 light. So we're now upgrading to heavy weapons.
We're looking at the destroyer.
No, the Transport.
The Transport.
The base Transport. Yep. It's got 1 aft arc, also light, and then up to 2 light turrets.
Okay. I will rescind. I'm almost certain we were playing a Transport.
Okay. Because there was 2?
Yeah. Oh no, because of the heavy one.
Ah, okay.
We also had the heavy.
So again, it's only that's 15 points. That's 3 more than the previous, 5 more than the first one. Not 15 out of 55. Not so.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So we're at light freighter, explorer, or transport.
That's on you guys.
Let us know.
Let us know which one we should pick. Some of the questions that are dropping in this. Kevin wants to know, what is this? This is Starfinder.
Oh, that's right. We don't have the VM screen anymore.
No.
Darn it. That was a great billboard.
Well, it was a great billboard.
Oh, do I still have it?
I haven't seen it.
Aha! Yes, Starfinder by Paizo. It drops while we're in Gen Con next week. Next Thursday, it'll be in your stores. If you're a fan of Pathfinder, this is Pathfinder in space.
In space.
We lost it, Johnny.
There we go. That'll work.
All right. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
So, can the light freighter be modified like the Millennium Falcon?
We haven't even begun. This is literally the frame.
Yeah, we're just looking at the framing of this.
So this is literally just the frame. We haven't added any of the cool stuff on it yet. That's all coming next.
Josh Githens asks, can your graphic team do overlay of the game you're designing for on the screen? I mean, not on the fly, but as when we get into the actual game, it could possibly be done. Yeah, Johnny?
What?
Yeah.
Can your graphic team do an overlay of the game you're designing for on the screen? So, like, once we get the ship actually made, and if we made a nice little graphic, it could be something we could throw up. Yeah.
I could make a doodle.
Another name for a ship, the Liberation.
Yes.
And do you have to buy lifeboats? I think we'll find that out as we get going.
We're going to find that fun
or
stuff
escape
out.
shuttles. Of course, mate's going to say it. Roll for it. 1 and 2 is.
We don't have any dice, so or else we would roll for it.
These are actually meteors and obstacles in space.
Let's roll a D10,000 and see what we get.
Hey, Gordon, we will absolutely post the ship when we're done. Yes.
I found this really cool purple pink dice with pips. I'm gonna let you roll it. Do a D3.
Okay. Josh is wondering if Githens is wondering if you can put the Starfinder logo in the bottom right-hand side. All right, here we go. So 1 and 2 is the light freighter. 3 and 4 is the explorer.
5 and 6 the transport.
The transport. 5 and 6 the transport. 5 and 6 the transport. 4.
It is the explorer,
which is still a great ship.
Meh. The garbage ship. Okay. So while you are putting down like the basic stuff we have on it, because that stuff's not going to change. The stuff that's on the transport. So go ahead and write that down. And while you do that, we'll move on to the next area and start talking about that. Oh, what page are we on?
We are on page 294, going to 296.
Yep, we're still for those following around. We're in 296 now. So next we're talking about power core. So power core is the most important system on the ship. It provides power to every other system. So the table below lists the ship size core is designed for, as well as the PCU it provides and its cost. PCU is your power core units. So this is a very important number. So what size are we?
We are a frame explorer, which puts us at a size medium. So 120 to 300 feet. So medium.
All right, so the medium one starts at a pulse gray, and that's giving us 100 PCU, and it costs us 10 BP.
Oof.
Okay, and it only gets better from there. So the next one would be 3 more points for another 30 PCU. So, and then another 2 on top of that for another 20. And you know, we've used what, 13 so far, 55?
13, yeah. So we're down to 43.
So, I mean, I wouldn't go. I mean, pulse green is probably as low as I would go. That seems pretty good. It's giving us 150 PCU, and it's using up 15.
Okay.
If we need to upgrade, if we need, you know, we're using pencils. So if we find out that our systems are sucking a lot more juice, we can go back, we can change this up. But I think that's a good starting point. Go ahead and just do
Pulse green.
Green.
Pulse green,
Yeah,
which
do
is
green.
15
for 150 points. That's the big thing to do is get that 150 down, so we know.
So we're
Those are the
green.
biggest things, like for points, like the BPs. Those are the 2 things that cost the most are the frame and the engine. Yeah. So basically that's it. Everything else is going to be nickel and dime, I think, to a degree. Maybe there was one more that was actually pretty good.
Jim, Tommy couldn't be here today because we do, as you can see, we broadcast during the working hours.
For normal human beings.
For normal human beings. And John, Tommy's muggle life does not allocate him the opportunity to come in and play today.
Does not.
And Anthony, can you hire other crew members if you are short? Those would be NPCs, probably androids.
Exactly the case. NPCs is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Or just have a small ship. You just have a fighter.
But here's the thing, too, is if you are playing this game and you only have 3 players, it is a ship. This particular ship is for 1, 2,
1, 2, 6, yeah.
So you'd be fine.
So yeah, everybody on the ship. I mean, you have a pilot and maybe a gunner. He's the same person as a front gunner. 1 engineer and 1 person in a turret.
Yeah.
Easy peas.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of dock. It's more guns than you'd be surprised at what you can do. All right. So next, thrusters. We're still on 296. So thrusters rely on conventional thrusters to move between locations in a system, to navigate the reaches of the drift once they arrive there, to explore it, and to engage in combat. So this is your kind of interplanetary or inter-system kind of travel. The drift, we'll get to that in a little bit. They're designed for ships of a specific size. Again, so just like the power core, everything starts with a size.
All right.
So for us, again, size medium.
Correct, size medium.
So size medium starts with the M4 thrusters. That gives us the crappiest speed of 4. This is the worst thrusters we can get, okay?
Yes.
Speed 4 is giving you a piloting modifier of +2, however. Because it's so slow, you have more maneuverability because you're not going as fast.
Okay.
The faster you go, I think, the less maneuverable it becomes. So +2, and it's only sucking 40 energy. All right? Out of that 155, only taking 40 away, okay? Mm-hmm. And it only costs 2 BPs. But it's garbage fast.
Garbage fast.
It is garbage fast.
It's like going through molasses.
So the range is from 4 axes all the way up to 12, and everything goes up from there.
Yeah, the cost
if you were
is up to 6.
so from 4 hexes and 40 PCU, 40 power, to 12 hexes and 80 power. That's significantly
Yes,
more.
See, I'm looking at the M8 thrusters.
Okay.
They give a movement of 8.
Okay.
They don't affect your piloting
Negatively or positively.
positively, and though it does hit you for 60. But I feel like this is your most important thing: is your ability to maneuver.
So it's sucking 60 power, and it's going to cost only 4
Only
BP.
4 points.
So I mean, I think that's pretty good. Like you said, that's pretty in the middle.
Yeah. If you jump it up 1 more and you're taking away 70,
it's just 2 more hexes, another 10 power, and
yeah,
1 more.
Yeah, it's not. I think the M10s might be something that you buy up later in the game.
Yeah, I hear the M10s are overrated. I've been talking about the Tachi station. And the M10s overrated. The M8s are fine.
As a matter of fact, I also heard that they're out of stock currently at Absalom.
They're always out of stock. You always got to check those stocks. The M12, however, if you're looking to go up,
Josh says that's where we go to pilot our Jaegers. Anthony, do you have to buy power and fuel as well? That is your power core is your fuel, and we already purchased that. Nate says something around 8 seems good as an exploring vessel.
I completely agree. I think 8 hexes is pretty fast, even in a combat situation. You're not going to outfly the fighters, but you're probably going to be a little bit faster than the big boys, I believe. So, yeah.
And 8 thrusters.
So 8 plus 0, and then it costs 60 power, and then it's going to cost 4 BP.
4 BP?
Not British Petroleum.
So that puts us down to 24 points left.
24 left for power, or 24 left to buy?
Purchase with.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so that's all we need. Our ship flies.
Oh, well, it's not all we're going to...
No, I'm just saying that's the end of your ship needs to be created. That's that.
Yeah.
Now we go on to the other stuff. The stuff that,
That's right. Jim did mention that yesterday, the Hinden Tannic.
The Hinden Tannic.
So
it's such a good name.
It's such a good name.
It's such a good name, but it's too late.
But here's the thing. I am going to write that down on one of the other ships here. The Hinden Tannic.
Such good. Who wants to pilot that?
I'm thinking that this might be something that Space Goblins have put together, and because they've taken 2 other ships and melded them together, it has Hinden with some like Scotch tape over it. Tannic.
I love it. All right, so the first thing in other systems is your armor. Armor protects the ship from direct fire weapons, deflecting their energy and preventing damage to critical ship systems. Grants an armor bonus to the ship's AC. Armor's cost depends on the bonus it grants and the ship's size, which makes sense. The bigger the ship, the more armor it has to cover, the more it costs. All right, so it kind of goes from, you know, this is up to you, because it all depends on how much you want to spend.
Well, we only have 24.
We have 24 points, and we still need weapons. Mm-hmm. And a computer, which is cheap. You can spend 0 on the computer, if you really want to. What else do we need? After that, you know, it's like, you know, crew compartments, the drift engine itself, mm-hmm. which is also going to be a little bit pricey, and then weapons. And that's expensive.
Have we seen anything as far as ships that are truly huge? They do have dreadnoughts and battleships and carriers or sizes, and these are called colossals, gargantuans, and I think they even have
just like your basic,
huge.
just like your basic Pathfinder, you know, size categories. They're the same. So, Rick,
first recurring non-player ship. The Hinden Tannic.
All right.
So my brother says if they named it the Oriole, all you have to name your ship is the Tiger. You're guaranteed to win. Wow.
It's true.
My brother up in Michigan.
Love it. All right. So bonus to AC. You know, it depends on the armor you're given. If you're giving a +2 bonus, it's going to cost the size category, which in this case is medium, so it counts as 3.
3.
And
mm-hmm.
you times it by 2, it still costs you
6.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that seems pretty good. We only have 24 points. Do you want to just do that? Mark II armor?
Mark II or Mark III?
Mark III is going to cost you 9 points. That's going to give you an additional +1.
9.
Got to make the hard choices.
I just feel like an explorer ship is going to need to take a little bit more of a hit. What do you guys think?
AC, so bonus to AC +2. Well, I'm sorry, +1, +2, or +3, because even, you know, the +1 is going to cost you only 3 points. So and it's 3, 6, 9 points. We only have 24 left.
Right.
And again, we can come back to this if we need to.
Yep. So, Andy, we are actually working on our shields right now.
Shields.
Go with the extra AC.
Well, yeah. So extra AC, Mark III armor. Write it down. 9 points.
That is. I'm looking for where that's at.
Bonus to AC's rate. Armor bonus. Top.
+3.
Yep.
And our armor is, or our shields, our armor is
Mark III.
the Mark III.
And it costs 9 BPs.
9 BPs.
9 bips.
All right, which only leaves us with 15 points left.
Indeed. All right. So, do we want to see weapons first?
Wow, Randall, Payton, and Josh Heights actually said go Mark II, as you can increase it later as you advance in level. And,
none of this is set in stone. Like I said, as you're going up in levels, you're ripping things off.
And that does give us more points towards. I mean, these are all great arguments. Do I add the 3 points?
Yeah, because the last 2 big things we need are shields and weapons, and that's next. So we can go Mark II then.
Mark II.
That saves us 3 points.
All right, which puts us to 18.
So, do you want to do shields and weapons and then go back to the other stuff? Just so we get the base, what we know we need?
Well, the shields, isn't armor
the shields? No, armor is the hull.
Oh,
shields are separate. Shields are the energy.
No.
Shields actually absorb damage, where armor just gives you an addition to the AC. That would be found on 302 is the start of where the shields are and the weapons. So, do you want to move on to that? I'm making a judgment call because he's not talking.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to shields.
Man.
So, While almost every ship has simple navigational shielding to prevent damage from tiny bits of debris, this protection does little to stop Starship. To blah, 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 blah. Each attack reduces the number of shield points, SP, in a given arc until that arc shields are depleted, after which points all further damage on that arc are reduced by hull points. So that's your HP, hull points. All right, so the way it works is you're given shields, and you look at the points. So the most basic is called basic shields 10, all right? And that gives you 10 shield points. And then once the encounter starts and you say shields up, you have to take those 10 and you have to spread them out on all 4 sections of the ship. You can't have, at the start, you can't have less than 10% on one section. Not a big deal. Mm-hmm. So with each increase of these, is a cost in BP, mm-hmm. and also talks about how fast it regenerates. Not a big deal. So let's just say you decide to go with. How much do you want to spend? How about that? Do you have
literally
a number?
Looking at basic shields 20. Oh, I'm sorry, BP. Whoa, that was killing me right there.
Wow.
I was thinking 10. Then light shield 70.
So light shields 70. It's going to cost 10.
That's what I was thinking, which would leave us with 8. That doesn't give us enough even for a computer.
Well, we haven't bought weapons yet.
And weapons. I mean, it gives us enough for weapons. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe light shields 40 for 5 points.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's not bad. I say we make a judgment call and we put that down. And that's also on the the edge there for that 1 minute regen, that 2 minute regen also. Mm-hmm. So you get out of combat for a minute, shields will pop back up.
And I said light shields 40.
So light shields is giving you 40 SP. So you got that? Mm-hmm. It's going to cost you 15 PCU.
Yeah.
So how much does that bring us up to?
Hold on. 75 PCU left.
75 left, and it costs 5 BP.
Which leaves us with 13 BP.
We're currently at 13.
Yes.
All right.
Yikes.
Let's do weapons, and then we can go back to the computers and stuff of that nature, and like crew quarters and all that fun. We're not gonna have a lot. It's a first level ship. You can't have all the bells and whistles. You can't have all the good stuff right at first level. You have to kind of use the ship you have. That's the way it works.
Hey, my cousin dropped into the chat. What's up, Justin? Shields are shields are separate. Yes, I just learned that myself. Even though I did play a demo of this, I totally forgot that shields are separate. Is there normal wear and tear like meteor damage or random debris? Potentially. I mean, that's a DM call, I would think.
Not really random debris. It says that the shields cover most random like space debris and stuff like that, but asteroids and stuff are not random. Like if you go into a space combat, the DM will put starships in front of you. It could be a maneuvering situation. If you roll bad, you could have hit a starship. You know, I mean, stuff like that.
Josh Heights has a great question. He says, "Can you redirect power to different sides in combat?"
And
so let's say if we've taken damage on this side, but we're the other ship's coming around, and we need to push.
I know exactly what you're saying. So that's a phenomenal question. Is it Josh you said?
It's a guy by the name of Josh.
All right, so Josh, it's a great question. The way it works is everybody in the Starship has a role. All right, the pilot's flying, the gunners have the turrets or the front guns, whatever. The engineers, I think, has the most important job, and that is one of his jobs, actually on his turn, fluctuating that energy of those shields and putting them where they need to be and sucking the energy from the PCU. And that's the other thing is by taking damage to the hull, that could be changed also. You know, you can be giving more power to the engines also. There's a balance, and it's all in the engineer's hands kind of deal to take care of it. So yes, that's the role of the engineer. That's what he does. That's his sole purpose, to make sure that the ship is protected, still running, and not blowing up, I guess.
I think so.
Which helps.
Yes.
So I guess we're on to weapons?
I think so.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see.
How much points do we have?
We have 13. Which means we could take a... How much is that flak thrower? Shoot.
These things are pricey.
Yeah, but as our ship, being the size that it is, can only have a certain amount.
It can have a heavy in the front or a light in the front and head up. Oh no, that's right. That's a big one. So light.
One light forward arcing, one port light, one starboard light, and one turret light.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So that's one forward, one port, one starboard,
And one in the middle.
one
There you go.
turret.
Well, we're not going to get all of them. There's no way.
No.
There's just absolutely no way. So,
I'm feeling like what does a gyro laser do? You know?
it hits things with a gyro? Duh.
Yeah,
What are you asking?
like
We're not going to worry.
what
We're
is
just going
a
to see
gyro?
what the damage is what we're looking at. So look at the range, look at the damage, look how much energy it's going to cost, and then how much the BB, and then if there's any special rules, if you want, I can look up the special rules real fast. We have some dice. So,
what? I'm thinking that
I think find the most basic weapons to start.
yeah,
Period. I think, what is it?
Like
Light
a
laser cannon?
like yeah. Could we could actually get 2 light laser cannons, so we could have a forward and one of our sides.
Okay.
We could say one of our sides.
Oh, God, it's the worst. It doesn't even have it on both sides.
And then
it's the worst.
I'm thinking.
I'd rather it be on both sides for symmetry. That's just.
I'm just saying. Here's my thought.
That's Russ fun.
It actually, coming out of the port, it rubbed it off.
The rubbings.
It has a rub off, and it took that.
You heard of the SS Hindentanic, right? Were you there for that?
Yeah.
The Hindentanic.
Yeah,
Is that the best?
it's going to be a goblin ship,
So good.
but our ship is the Oriole.
The Hindentanic. AKA.
AKA Captain Rod's ship.
Definitely get a turret. I mean, that is important because then you have a 360 arc.
The filthy,
You know.
Greetings, James. Can the engineer? Yes, we talked about that. Definitely get a turret so it can do defense against, even if someone is not available to actively gun. Looks like your free will be sleeping in hammocks. Our crew, our hammock sleepers.
That's it. Hammock
Yeah.
sleepers.
So the turret, I think, should be a light laser because it has it does 2d4, and that's pretty good for only costing 2 points to purchase.
Well, that's why can anything be a turret? I mean, that's where I'm at right now is figuring out what can be in a turret and what cannot be in a turret kind of a situation. That's what I'm kind of trying to find, but I don't see that anywhere.
James is wondering, do we spend energy as currency to fire weapons?
No, nothing like that. Maybe like a tractor beam might have that special rule. It depends if a special rule has that. I don't know, but as I've seen from what I looked at the weapons, I didn't see that. I didn't see anything like you have to spend it as you're shooting, aside from ammo and stuff like that.
It's just like when you start taking damage to your ship, it can actually affect
there we
the
go.
energy that you're. What do we got?
Light weapons can be mounted on any ship, but are most typically found on smaller vessel fighters and bombers. While dangerous, light weapons do not have the firepower necessary to damage very large vehicles. Okay, nope. I thought I was going to say where they can mount. So yeah, I guess you can put it anywhere.
Anywhere, as long as the light turret.
It doesn't say what weapons go where, so
Okay.
do what must be done.
Well, then I'm going to say that our turret is going to be a light laser,
All right,
which can be upgraded.
I like it. So the light laser cannon
Yes.
is only a short range. That's the
Right.
problem with it. But we can't afford anything else.
Nope.
Unless you want to put a tracking weapon on the turret. A high explosive missile launcher is only 4. And that's a long ranger.
Limited
We're probably
fire
using
of
it.
5.
You're probably only using it for defensive purposes. I think your light turret's fine. Go for it. Save those points.
Al, you're not wrong on the tracking weapons.
And they do a lot of damage.
Like for 3, the micro missile battery has long range,
Oh, there you go.
2d6, and only costs 3.
That's a good shot. I didn't see that.
Yeah, we'll go micro missile battery.
So an array weapon fires at all targets within a single firing arc. The gunner attempts a single gunnery check against each target in the firing arc, starting with those closest to a starship. Each gunnery roll check takes a -4 penalty, which stacks with other penalties. Roll damage only once for all targets. critical damage is determined by each target's critical threshold. The gunner can't avoid shooting at allies in this firing arc, nor can she shoot at any target more than once. An array weapon uses 2 weapon mounts. Did you hear that?
It counts as 2?
2 weapon mounts, so yes. It's because it's an array.
Oh, so this could take away our...
It would take away 2 mounts. Like it has to be the same. Yeah. So if it has 2 forward front light mounts, it would take both of those, or 2 turrets, it would take up both of those.
So this, yeah.
So we can't even take that.
No, dag nabbit.
So, hey, one more point. High explosive missile launcher. 48 damage.
Limited fire of 5.
Who cares? You got to blow it up in 3 shots.
Okay, we go HEML, high explosive missile launcher. So
It's also an intimidation weapon. You throw a missile out there, they know you mean business.
Right. So that leaves us. I don't think we should buy our port and starboard arcs yet.
Not even
take the forward arc.
Okay. Oh yeah. I think it's good. Yeah. The light one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that would just be a light laser cannon at 2.
I agree.
These
That's not bad. 7 points, no problem.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. So just for you guys, just so you know, just talking about a couple of things that are cool that I read through this. You can link weapons, which is actually really cool. So if you install 2 of the same direct fire weapon in the same firing arc, you can link them together so they fire as one. So it costs a little bit extra to link them together, but it's cool. You can fire multiple weapons as long as it's the same arc just by pressing one button. So that's kind of cool. Increased damage.
So here's some of the questions that we've been getting. We've got, how y'all doing today? From James. We're doing great.
So good.
Thank you. Are there weapons that disrupt, for example, jam sensors or disrupt shields, navigation, or enemy ships?
There are. There are, in fact, both EMP weapons, which I'm sure does exactly that. A weapon of this property emits a beam of electromagnetic energy that does not deal lethal damage to ships and shields, but plays havoc with the ship's electronic systems. So there's also a radiate. You can irradiate damage. Quantum weapon can reroll gunnery checks. Tractor beams. So yeah, I think the one you're looking for is probably the EMP. Is what it sounds like.
And then Josh Height says, do ships have an equivalent to resolve points to fast charge a shield? The shields do regenerate, and it's like 1 point per minute.
It's outside of combat. They regenerate. So from what I've seen, I'd have to read the class. I'd have to read what the engineer is capable of doing. I'm sure they might have some special feats or special things that allow that. I don't know. I haven't looked really into the engineer yet. But outside of the engineer, no, you can't. But I think there's got to be something he can do. I don't think it would be broken because it has to be something that's super. It would have to cost something. So maybe not. I'll have to read through it.
Yes, James, there are miniatures that are going to be available by Ninja Division for ships as well. If you watch the demo video that we did at Gamma, it's on our YouTube channel.
Does you have the video still or no? Johnny on the spot!
Yeah, so there
they are by Ninja Division, guys. They're coming out this
week as well.
Oh, they're coming at the same time.
Yeah,
I thought it was after.
Gen Con.
Phenomenal! Yeah. These models are sick looking.
The Envoy.
So good.
The Mystic.
That's the Shireen, I believe is what they're called.
Android Operative. The Solarian. There's the Vesk.
Boom, boom.
They're so cool. Technomancers. And there's an example of one of the ships. Right there. That ship
That's actually really cool looking, too.
It's pretty nice. And like I said, if you
pretty basic, you know.
And if you go on to our YouTube channel and watch the video where we play at Gamma, you'll see some other prototypes of some of the other spaceships.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. And Josh also asks, are there any salvage rules for if you drop someone else's ship to take things from their ship? Yeah, this whole game is about salvaging. It really is. You're going to be exploring ancient civilizations, finding tech and stuff, finding.
I think it's actually about
drifts.
specifically ships. I'm not sure. I'm sure you'll be able to take over other ships. As for the leveling system, I'm not sure how that would work.
I don't know either.
If you find a ship that's got, if your base is 55 points and you find a ship that's got 200 points, I don't know how that would work with the leveling system. More or less, what it has is what it has. And if it breaks, you probably won't be able to fix it because you don't have what's known as like the monetary value.
Right.
This eliminates the money spending, is what it is. It kind of it simplifies it by adding BPs, but I have no idea. That's a
I will tell you
great question.
that based on having read the first module,
Oh, spoiler alert.
you might be able to do some of that stuff.
Well, seeing how you don't create a ship for that, chances are you might find one. I'm just throwing it out there.
Is my connection bad, or is the live stream pausing constantly for anyone else? I can't speak to that, Jim.
But we can ask the chat.
Yeah.
Chat.
And
Are
if it
we
is,
pausing?
Just reset, close it down, and reopen it, and see what's up.
If it is, we'll flog Johnny because it's
And
somehow
we
his
will
fault.
flog Johnny.
Somehow his fault.
Because that is what we must do.
Flogging Johnny, new band name.
I know, right? What's the connection looking like in there, John? Okay.
All right. So moving along, we've got 7 points.
We have 7 points left.
All right. So we're going on to the fun stuff then. All right. So no, not the fun stuff. So first, the things we need. Well, needs a hard word. You could stay in system, but the drift engine. So these engines let you travel to and from the drift. The better the engine rating, the faster you can reach distant destinations. It's kind of like your light speed from generic other Starship.
Yeah,
games,
hyperspace, hyperdrive.
Whatever. That's the equivalent kind of the drift. The cost and build points is based on the Starship size category, and then multiplied. So if we want a single basic booster, it's going to cost us 4 points
Wow.
for a single
Basic booster.
drift engine.
Oh, that is.
Gotta do it because you can't afford the next one, and actually the max, you can't afford it. So you gotta do it.
And
The
what page is that?
That's on page 298. And then the
298.
next size up costs 10. So we got no choice. So that is
Yeah. Oof.
So single basic is engine rating 1, PCU 75.
That's PCU. The actual cost on BP for even the single basic is 2 times the size category.
Yeah, which is 2.
Our size category is 3.
No, we're medium. Yeah.
2 times
so
3 is
6. Yep, you're right.
Will leave us with 1 point.
Well, you don't have to have one. You can stay just within the system if you want.
What do you guys think? Because I think another important aspect to this game is your computer.
Computers.
Yeah.
Well, no, the first one is free. Right there, basic computer.
Basic computer.
Plus 0. 0 nodes, 0 PCU, cost 0.
All right, that's perfect. Basic
It's
computer.
basically
it is.
dial-up. So good.
It's gonna be the worst. This ship, the Orioles.
You've got mail.
oh.
What?
Remember, it's just a first level ship. It can be upgraded. I know. It's just you just want to have the Orville.
He just wants to have fun.
Why we can't have nice things?
That's why. That's why we can't have it.
So our drift. Do we? I feel like a drift engine right now may not be something that this particular ship.
Stay local.
Yeah,
Boys. That's great.
yeah.
Fine.
They
Stay
don't.
local.
They don't play in the outer rim.
Can't afford to.
Yep. Can't afford it yet.
I love it. And your thrusters are pretty good, right? We
did go good on thrusters.
There you go. You're fine.
Yeah, everybody's fine.
You're fine. We're fine, just fine. How are you? All right. If you're not getting a drift engine, then that's saving you on 6 points. So do you want crew quarters?
Well, crew quarters.
So crew
Yes.
quarters. If you have a common room, like they said, a room with hammocks, that's 0. Costs you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they deserve. I like free. If you want good, it's going to cost you 2 BP. So good crew quarters are a bit more upscale than common crew quarters, obviously. They consist of dormitory-style rooms that can hold 1 or 2 small beds, sometimes a personal closet or a drawer space for each occupant. Good crew quarters are also include 1 or 2 shared bathrooms with multiple sinks and shower stalls, a dining space with an attached galley. Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Common room, literal hammocks with 1 bathroom, and a small little desk for
I kind of
cooking.
think like the aliens thing.
No, that actually has a common room at least.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be good, is what aliens has.
Yeah.
This is garbage, but the garbage will do.
The garbage will do.
The garbage will do.
All right. Where is that?
That's right on 298, right at the bottom left.
Oh, okay. Crew quarters. So common crew
Common
quarters.
crew quarters cost you nothing. 'Cause that's how much we have left.
So common crew quarters.
All right. Here's the other stuff.
All right.
We're just gonna throw it out there, and we're just because I want to read the whole list, just so you have an idea of what there is. We won't use probably many of these, if any. Number one, arcane laboratory. Don't think it's necessary. Whatever. How many expansion bases do we
I
have?
think we had 4 as exploratory.
Okay.
Let me take a look.
I
real
think you're
quick.
right. So I think it was 4 then 5 for the next one.
Yeah.
So all right, cargo holds cost nothing. So you can have worst case scenario, we use all 4
we have
bays.
4 expansion
We use
boardings.
all 4 bays as cargo holds. So if you want to be a ship, escape pods. I know somebody mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Lifeboats. Escape pods will cost 2 energy and cost 1 BP for each. Also, I believe you can have multiple pods in one thing. Escape pods give crews escape pod fits 1 medium or smaller creature and has enough supplies in it for 7 days. It's also fitted with a distress beacon that is easily identified by long-range sensors. An escape pod has heat shields that allow it to crash. Blah blah. A single expansion bay can be converted into 6 escape pods. So one bay can have 6 if you decided.
All right.
I'd say just get 1 for the captain.
The captain goes down with the ship.
That's not true at all.
What?
Maybe in the Federation.
I think that having 2 isn't a bad idea. Or even again, not having any, because
I mean, all right, so here's the situation. You have 2 escape pods. They literally fit one person.
person.
That means it's going to be a crap fest when this thing's going down. The guns are coming out, and it's going to be a hot mess. I love anarchy, so I think that's great. But I
Remember that
think
scene in Spaceballs where they're all trying to run? through the
that's what it
Spaceballs?
is. It's just one except for smaller with a lot worse weapons. There's going to be violence. It's going to be terrible. So I'm of the 0 mind.
yeah, I'm of the 0 mind as well.
What do you guys think? Keeping it 0?
Space nerds.
Everybody's on the same boat?
Yeah, I think that's a good call, sir. We'll go with 0. Anthony, ones are solar sails. Are they purchased or as backup as well? I don't even know if solar sails.
No,
are
I haven't seen
mentioned in
anything
here.
with
I haven't
solar
seen
sails.
anything with it.
No, I haven't seen anything with solar sails.
And we need to keep a couple points aside for some fuzzy dice, which is important. I agree.
They come stock.
And Tokyo Drift engine. I would love a Tokyo Drift engine. So it's a Ford Explorer class ship because you're unable to take it very far. We call it the F Explorer type class.
All right, so we got a little more. So that was escape pods. Guest quarters.
Guest quarters. I don't feel like unless we are transporting someone important.
Depends on what kind of jobs you want to take.
Yeah.
Guest quarters. It costs 1 PCU, 1 BP. Just throwing it out there.
Here's an interesting question in the chat.
I love
One of them is artificial gravity. Do we deal with artificial gravity? Does it exist on our ship, or do we just assume?
Yes, it's I believe it says it somewhere in the life support and whatnot that artificial gravity is on each ship.
Okay, and here's the other one. Chris Perkins writes, "What's the benefits of getting a better crew quarter?"
Better crew quarter is, I think, it's more RP issue than more RP than
Absolutely,
anything.
that's what I was going to say.
I've seen nothing that says that they get any benefits or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just literally, I'm sick and tired of sleeping next to the giant lizard man snoring in my ear. I want my own room with my own desk that I can store my stuff. Better chance of somebody not stealing your crap.
Right.
Because you have your own little drawer and your own little, that kind of a situation.
Absolutely.
And it's a prestige, I think, more than anything. I'm a 5th level character. Why am I still sleeping in a hammock?
Right. And it does afford, like for an adventure, it could be you have, let's say you do have a ship in which you are transporting multiple guests, and you have a crew quarters and guest quarters. Let's say that's how we were to do this build out. With multiple crew quarters and guest quarters, and something goes missing. Now there is your adventure, and now you have to explore the ship in all quarters.
Absolutely. All right, so the next thing we have, hangar bay, we're not going to get. But it's nice to know that we can purchase a hangar bay for your ship. Like, you can get some big ships. Like, the more you level up, the more the builds just get bigger if you want them to get bigger. Or just make your smaller ship better and better.
Right.
Which is really cool. Like, you can have a freaking Star Destroyer if you wanted. Like, it's ridiculous. So next is lifeboats. Lifeboats are a little bit different than escape pods. You can usually have lifeboats. A lifeboat is a more sophisticated version of the escape pod. It has room for 1 large creature and 2 medium or smaller creatures. So, it's a little better option than enough supplies to last those passengers 15 days.
Nice.
While it has some kind of distress beacon also, and a single expansion bay may convert it into 2. So lifeboats will cost you 6 if you want to put both of them in there and have enough for the whole crew.
But they don't use us with 1 point left.
I know. Medical bay.
Okay. And in this game, having medical facilities is a good thing.
Woo, you're not kidding.
Because there are truly not really any clerics. They use they use science for treating and curing diseases and
with
healing
with
wounds.
that in mind, who knows if every planet you're going to go to is civilized also. You know, your arm's flopping around because it just got shot by an axe. You can't go to the doctor because the doctor's, you know.
Yeah, a science guy. Yeah. You hope your android.
If you have it on your ship, you go on the ship, take care of business. Don't have to worry about the witch doctor in the cave who's just going to throw salt in the wound and laugh at you.
So one of the things that to kind of put that in your perspective is the medical bay on Star Trek would be huge, but if you look at the ship that's from Legends of Tomorrow, that one has a medical bay too, and it only it's very small.
And Firefly, right?
And Firefly.
I keep forgetting they had a med bay on, but the doc had.
Again, though, that is possible for expansion.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even having a staff.
Yeah.
A medical staff would be great. Like NPCs, so good.
So my thought is.
Well, you can't afford it. I like it. So.
Right, we can't afford it, but I do think having a guest quarters is kind of a neat idea in the event that we do have to transport somebody of importance or something of importance.
Or you just
hire. Lock away.
You go to a bay and who needs transport? Yeah. You know, for 1,000 credits, we'll take care of that. Easy peasy. We'll fly on the other side of the planet. Easy peasy, no questions asked.
Or 3 planets over.
Well,
with a little bit more sauce on that.
Not with your engines.
Where you can stay in the system.
Yeah, slowly.
So I like the idea of having a.
I think that one's going to get a star next to it. We'll keep going down and see what else we have. Passenger seating. Now, this is literally stadium seating in one of these bays. It is mass transit. It is taking 20 people and driving them and flying them someplace and dropping them off and collecting a fare.
And that costs nothing.
0.
So you take one of your bays, your cargo bays, and turn it into a mass transit.
It can start like that, and then you can rip it out if you don't want cargo or whatever. That's your choice. Or if you're planning on being more of a smuggler / cargo guy, you can just keep them as cargo bays. But yeah.
So our bays we've already taken is the common crew quarters takes up one of our slots, right?
I believe so. Common crew quarters must be. No, it does not.
So we do have to have. We have 4 extra slots.
Yeah.
That we have, and I think that having 2 cargo holds, one being for cargo and one being for passengers, because it is going to be potential that you're going to need to transport people, adventurers, others, whatever, diplomats.
Sure.
Who knows?
Well, let's just fly through the rest here. So passenger seating, power core housing. I hope that's not necessary. It's an expansion bay can be set aside for an additional power core. Thank God for small favors. Recreation suite for a gym. Costs 1 BP.
That's kind of cool.
Recreation suite for a movie theater. A tri-vid den.
Also pretty cool.
Science lab.
I like the idea of a science lab.
Science lab costs is cheaper than the other ones. It costs 2 PCU and it costs 1 BP. Sealed environment chamber.
Nate, I believe that the $9.99 PDF that you can purchase off their site is the complete core rule book.
So the sealed environment chamber. Occasionally a starship will need to host an alien or other creature whose biology is radically different from that of the crew. The passenger might be able to breathe only methane gas or can survive only below freezing temperatures. In such a case, a sealed environment chamber is required for the passenger to remain comfortable and alive.
That's kind of cool. And also, if you're going to be picking up, let's say you get hired, I need you to go to this planet to get this kind of creature to bring back here for study or whatever. And just saying. And
you just want to dissect people. You're the worst.
And then you can get a.
And that's pretty cheap too, guys. That's only 2 power and 1 BP.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. And we're almost done. Smuggler compartment. It's
so much like the Millennium
it's
Falcon,
like the
as was
Falcon.
mentioned in the chat already. Yes, you can make a smuggler's compartment.
Absolutely. Oh, somebody to ask?
Yes.
So yeah, there are cargo holds hidden behind false bulkheads and shielded from most scanning, allowing a starship equipped with them to haul illegal goods without detection. So it makes the DC higher to discover them and stuff of that nature. So pretty good. Synthesis bay. A synthesis bay contains all space and tools required to craft drugs, medicine, or poison.
Ooh.
And last but not least, a tech workshop. Contains all the space and tools necessary to craft technological items, though the crafter must still provide the necessary raw materials. That's all of them. And before we go on, there's one last thing. Two more things. There's security. So security measures for the ship, and also sensors. So I forgot about them, missed them. They're right in the middle here. So security, you have anti-personnel weapon, which is basically, remember the Falcon had the little thing that came out and shot the dudes?
Yeah.
It's that, whatever. The one that I thought was actually important that I saw, I mean, biometric locks your ship when you're not there.
That's expensive.
Is it?
It's 5 points.
No.
And we only have 7.
All these are expensive. Computer countermeasures? Nope. All right, we're going to ignore that. Sensors.
I think budget short range.
I like it. My
sounds
thoughts
great.
exactly. Budget, the key word in that, budget short range.
Budget short range.
Yeah, it gives you, I mean, because that's not the worst one, by the way. There's one called cut rate.
Cut rate sensors.
Yes, those are cut rate sensors. Great. So, which gives you a negative modifier. So the budget short range costs you 2 BP, which leaves us with 3?
5. We have 5.
Oh, yeah, 7. Oh, I thought you had 6.
We had 7. We didn't spend the 6.
Gotcha. All right, so
We have
5
5
left.
points.
What are your thoughts?
Josh says I didn't hear cantina, which would have beer, as Winch was asking.
He makes a good.
So Mate has a good one on here. Mate says that we should take the smuggler's hold.
I like it.
Just because this game is probably going to afford itself the opportunities to smuggle some stuff.
It depends on what you're out looking to get.
True. I mean, it's a good thing, and again, that might be the thing you upgrade to. I feel like.
I think you got to figure out what your lot in life is first. I mean, if you know for a fact I'm going to be smuggling illegal goods, that's what I'm going after. I say get smuggling. Just get them right now.
I like the idea of 2 cargo holds because we have this potential for 4 spaces outside of the regular norms that the ship would have. So 2 cargo holds, one of them being passenger seating, one of them being for cargo, which would cost us at that point 1 point, because the 2 cargo holds are 0 each. Having a science lab is a good idea, and a tech workshop, which takes us down to 2 points left. And then which at that point we could purchase a smuggler's compartment, or
But that also takes up a bay.
A bay, right? Or the sealed environmental chamber is not a bad choice. So, which leaves us with 1 more point left to spend, and that's where I think the guest quarters, which is a 1 more.
I mean, also anti-hacking system is not bad. It's only 3. That's not terrible. It just increases the DC to hack by 1. But I'm just, I don't know.
It's like if you get bored and you have that one NPC that is hiding, and you're gonna want a smuggler's compartment. Mike Fontaine asks about a medical bay. I think skipping a medical bay, because a medical bay is not cheap. It was what?
Not cheap, but it might be necessary.
It was
8 BP. Can't
8.
afford it.
We can't even afford
Can't
a
afford
medical
it. No
bay.
matter, well, unless you downgrade something else like your
Nope.
armor.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Come on, do it.
Not gonna happen.
Pansy.
So that might be an upgrade later. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? So 2 cargo holds, 1 for passengers, 1 for cargo, guest quarters, which doesn't. Yeah,
No, that's included in there. Like that's,
right, in your framing.
Yep.
Shuttle or not shuttle bay, tech workshop, science lab, sealed environmental chamber, and that would leave us, like I said, with one point, which I think might be cool to have the arcane lab.
Really?
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about that.
you wouldn't,
At the start.
or a synthesis bay, where we can.
Make drugs and medicine?
Yeah,
I would go tech workshop before any of it.
tech workshop's already on there.
All right, tech workshop,
Yeah.
2 cargo holds,
2 cargos,
smuggler's bay.
2 cargo holds,
Or 1 cargo, yeah, 1
which
cargo.
is 0,
one.
0.
Yep.
1 for passengers,
Yep. 1 for actual cargo.
which is 1, right? Because passenger seating is 0.
Mm-hmm.
All right, with passenger seating. Tech workshop is 1.
And 3. Yep.
We're going to say science lab
No. Because then we don't have enough compartments in.
for
'Cause that just took up 4. That's 3
smuggler's
right there.
compartment is 2.
Yeah. So, yeah, then that would be the 4th one. 2 bays, tech, and that. That's it.
Okay. And that costs 2 points. So that's 2, 3. So that only costs us 3 points. So we actually have 2 BP.
2 BP.
Left.
All right. So we can upgrade. 2 BP.
We could be the make drugs. We would become the Breaking Bad RV of space.
We can up your thrusters up 1. If you wanted to. Make them that Mark 10 that you talked about. Oh, actually, you got 2 points, right?
No, just 1.
Oh, you only have 1.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, 2 points,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can make it that Mark 12 thruster. They'll give you a move of 12.
That's fast. Which
So
could come in handy because some of those bigger capital ships or whatever that you might encounter.
or you can get a better computer than the basic computer.
With
On page 297. So right now we have just a basic.
we could get an
free
MK1 Duo node.
You good?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
An M21 Duo node because the ship can have its own personality too.
I think it deserves it.
Yeah, an MK1 Duo node, and that gives us that spends all of our points. We've purchased our ship. The Oriole is there.
It's complete.
We are a medium-sized ship. And then, what's our drift rating?
There isn't one because you didn't buy drift engines.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Oh,
It would be
Lord.
0.
Ridiculous.
Drift of nil.
Drift of no. Activate the drift.
Okay. You're a jerk. So,
All right. Up your thruster, lewd. Needs a crazy goblin mascot. We do need a crazy goblin mascot.
do indeed.
Yeah, everybody does need a crazy goblin mascot. And if you've ever read any of the comic books where someone did that, it never ends well.
That's not true.
Yeah, it ended horribly. The goblins were like biting guests' fingers off. It's the worst.
I disagree.
Yeah. You just keep them out with a glass bulb on their head. They're not biting nothing. Tink, tink, tink.
That's it.
Yep. Very cool. Well, there you have it, guys. That is
We did
a
it.
basic ship build
We made a ship.
for Starfinder, which again will be available at your local stores next week.
Yep.
And
Check out
at
the
Gen
website.
Con. We'll be at Gen Con, so if you're at Gen Con and see us there, please stop us, say hi, take a selfie with us, or tell us how much you enjoy or dislike our content.
Please, I blend to help stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I am a giant, so you'll see me all over the place.
And go to your local hobby shops, guys. Next week specifically, if you want to check out Starfinder, it's worth it to see in your hands. It's a big, beautiful book,
It's
lots of
huge.
color pictures. It's so good.
Yeah, the pictures are beautiful.
This
The
is so
artwork
good.
in this is amazing. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out from Paizo. Make sure you're following Paizo at paizo.com.
Yes.
And following us here on Facebook and our website and all of our social media, Game Trade Media. Just look it up. You'll find us everywhere.
Just look it up.
Look it up. You'll find us everywhere. So that's been it. That's building character, and we hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm Rick.
I'm Kurt.
We'll see you next week.
So,
No. So next week we are taking a hiatus because of Gen Con, so you will not see us until we get back.
We might. So make sure you follow the Game Trade Media on Facebook because Rick's going to probably be going live occasionally while they're showing off some cool stuff.
Even if it's just on my phone.
It probably will be.
And it probably will be on my phone.
So yeah, so make sure you follow us. You'll see when he goes live. You can keep up with all the actions of Gen Con, even if you can't go. So be good.
There you have it. We'll see you guys when we get back.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to Game Trade Media. Leave a like and comment on what videos you'd like to see next.